Every 90 minutes, someone is diagnosed with ALS, a devastating neurological disorder that damages the motor neurons, causing them to shrink and die. You progressively lose the ability to perform everyday tasks, such as walking upstairs, reaching for an item, or getting dressed, and eventually lose the ability to speak, swallow, or breathe, eventually leading to paralysis and death. The disease is often referred to as Lou Gehrig's disease, in recognition of the famous baseball player who died from ALS in the late 1930s. There is no known cause. 90% of those diagnosed have no family history or genetic predisposition. And while at present there are several treatment options available to help manage symptoms and possibly slow the progression of the disease, there is currently no cure. This disease has hit home for our council family. We all remember and honor Steve Goldstein, who served as the longtime chief of staff for Councilmember Craig Rice. Craig was hoping to be here today, but the situation came up that he couldn't be. Steve was committed to his work on behalf of the council and to Craig and the office, never missing a day, even in his final days as he struggled to make it through the long and, as we all know, arduous days of budget before passing away in May 2019. His positive attitude and steadfast devotion to the council is remembered so very fondly. We also want to recognize and honor Jay Kenny, a valued member of our community. Jay ably served as the county's first chief of aging and disability services, and then as chief operating officer for the Jewish Social Services Agency. Jay was well known for his dedication to public service and compassionate leadership. He was a fierce advocate for our most vulnerable residents, and the impact he made in the HHS field will be felt for many years to come. We all miss these two outstanding individuals, as well as so many others whose life has been cruelly cut short by this devastating disease. We stand with the ALS community to advocate for and empower those impacted by the disease, and are dedicated and united in the quest to find a cure and end ALS for good. I'm going to ask my friend and colleague, the chair of HHS committee, Councilmember Albornoz, to please say something.
Well said and well done, Councilmember Katz. So about a year ago, I had the honor of attending the memorial service for Dr. Jay Kenny. And it was an extraordinary service that reflected on his extraordinary life. And I had the distinct honor of working with Jay for 12 years in the administration of Ike Leggett. You will not find a more dedicated and more positive human being to public service than Dr. Jay Kenny. His infectious smile, his incredible attitude, his ability to bring communities together was truly extraordinary and one of a kind. And I will also never forget where I was and what I was doing when Chuck Short shared the news that Jay had been diagnosed with ALS. I saw the struggle that he went through, the heroism that his family and the incredible providers provided to him in some of what had to have been the darkest moments that any of us could have ever imagined in his life. And I left inspired, because although Jay left us too soon, we remember Jay for what he was able to do while he was here. But we have a collective responsibility to make sure that we honor and recognize his life and that of all of the other people whose lives are cut too short and whose families are devastated by having to witness what happens to somebody with ALS. And we are fortunate to have extraordinary organizations who we will recognize shortly who are in that fight. And we are all in that fight together. So this is a month to reflect. This is a month to act. This is a month to remind us that we must continue to work collaboratively to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabe. We also are going to be hearing from Bridget Phelps, who's the Managing Director of the Development at ALS Association, DC, Maryland, Virginia chapter. Please.
Tara has a few words.
Okay, you're going to do it together.
We'll do it together. Good morning. I'm Tara Wong. I'm the Community Engagement Manager at the ALS Association. Bridget Phelps and I are so honored to be here today. We would like to extend our deepest thanks to Mayor Elrich, Councilmembers Katz and Albornoz, and the rest of the Montgomery County Council for proclaiming May as ALS Awareness Month. This month, we recognize and honor the courage and strength of those who are living with ALS and their families and caregivers. As we come together to raise awareness about this debilitating disease, we also celebrate the recent approval of new treatments such as Relivrio and Tofersen that offer hope to those living with ALS. On behalf of the ALS Association and those living with ALS, I want to thank everyone in Montgomery County for this proclamation. It is crucial that we come together to work as a community and continue the fight. This proclamation is a testament to the hard work and dedication of the ALS Association and those living with ALS who will do whatever it takes to end ALS, and we are so grateful for your support. Thank you.
Gabe and I will read this. Whereas amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, is a devastating disease that is progressively neurodegenerative. The disorder affects the nerves and muscles in the brain and spinal cord, gradually impacting every aspect of a person's life, including their ability to speak, swallow, breathe, and walk, and...
I'll do the next two and you take
Okay, sounds good.
Whereas approximately 30,000 people in the United States have ALS, every year about 5,000 people are told by their doctor that they have the disease, and approximately 15 new cases of ALS are diagnosed every day, with the person losing their battle with the disease every 90 minutes. And whereas the ALS Association is the only national not-for-profit health organization dedicated solely to the fight against ALS and battles the disease on every front, including community services, public education, and advocacy. And
whereas the organization that provides access to ALS multidisciplinary clinics, as well as free home visits, medical equipment, loan closets, transportation grants, and monthly support groups, and whereas finding the causes of and cure for ALS will prevent the disease from robbing hundreds of thousands of Americans of their dignity and lives, and raising public awareness of ALS will facilitate the discovery of a cure. Now therefore be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland hereby proclaims May 2023 as ALS Awareness Month. And be it further resolved that the County Council encourages residents to adopt the ALS Association, DC, Maryland, Virginia chapter's core values of compassion, integrity, and urgency, excuse me, to find a cure and create a world without ALS. It's presented today, signed by Council President Glass, Councilmember Albornoz, and myself. Congratulations.